Good evening. Welcome to Old Iron Garage. I haven't posted a video in a little while. I've been very busy. But tonight we're going to do a "Why Did It Fail" video. So recently I fixed up I wanted to do a video on it, but I was in a hurry. I didn't have time. I fixed up a self-propelled mower that I picked up on the side of the road last fall for free. It is a 1989, so only 1 year younger than me. It's a 1989 Toro model 16775. It is 21-inch cut. It is self-propelled. It has a Tecumseh TVS90 engine, which is, I think, I might be wrong. I'm not super familiar with the vertical shaft Tecumseh engines, but I think it's around 3.94 horsepower, somewhere around there. And got it all fixed up. Got it power washed. It's looking good. And actually yesterday I cut my yard with it for the first time. And I'm still got a little work to do on it, but it is going to become my go-to lawnmower. So anyways, it was a real pleasure to use. It did an amazing job. And they just don't build mowers like they used to. They don't build anything like they used to. But this thing's lasted 34 years. And if I treat it right, it's going to last another 34 years. Because, well, I mean, these things are made to last. It's got a cast aluminum deck. Yeah, it's just a very well made mower. Anyways, but this video is not about that mower. So I was cruising Facebook Marketplace and I came across another one, and another older self-propelled Toro. Looked in the pictures, it looked about the same, just in a lot more rough condition. And I messaged the guy. It was with a bunch of other mowers. He's trying to sell them all together, but he held that one for me. And so I went up and got it. And I got it home. And, it was with a bunch of mowers that all needed work. So anyways, I got it home and started messing with it. Seemed like it was low on compression, and also after pulling on the rope for a little bit, and it did go putt-putt a couple times. All of a sudden I hear this knock, knock, knock. Yeah. So anyways, I'm just going to tear into it and see what it looks like. Who knows? I might be able to order a few parts and get this thing going again and keep it as a spare engine, as a backup engine. Because the main reason I would go on and picked up that second mower, Toro self-propelled 21-inch cut mower, was for parts. So if I can get this engine going again, like if the block and the crank and stuff are in good shape, if they're still usable and it's worth fixing up, I might get the parts and fix it up. We'll see. Anyways, let's show you the engine, and then I'm going to take you over and show you the two mowers. So here it is. It's kind of hard to see. It looks very washed out because of the lighting. You have your fuel tank, air cleaner box. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go over here. I got new lighting in the garage. I'm going to be putting some more in later, but man, is it so much better in here. So here we have the one that's for parts, the one that engine came off of. Pretty rough, but as far as I can tell so far, the deck still looks solid. I got to clean it up and dive deeper into it and take a look, but the deck is solid. I might actually sandblast it and paint it inside of the side in case my other deck and my good mower cracks, because I want to keep this thing around for a long time. Here's the other one. Man, that thing, At first glance, it almost looks new. Yeah. I had it shined up real nice the other day after power washing it. But since then, I power washed the bottom to get all the old grass clippings out. And I power washed the top and the engine and everything. I degreased it and power washed it. Since then, I brushed the bottom side of the deck and the mower blade down with used motor oil to help make it so cleanup after mowing is easier, as well as help preserve the deck. So anyway, let's get back over here. Let's get you guys up here. And before I forget, I need to plug my phone in. I don't know what percentage my battery is, but yeah, I don't want you guys to miss out on this fun. Sorry, just trying to position you just right. All right, now let's get you plugged in. Excuse me. Oof. Apparently I picked up a spider off the ground when I picked up the charging cord. Yeah, crazy. All right, yeah, let's dive in. Easy now. Let's take off the fuel tank. Hey, that fits. Wonder what it looks like inside the fuel tank. With it being a plastic tank, at least I know it won't be rusty and it won't have any rust holes. I'm not saying plastic tanks don't get any holes, just not from rust. It would have to be like cracked or punctured or something. You know what? There. It's a little better. Yeah, sure, it'd be cool if I can get this old Tecumseh up and going again. It would be nice to have a backup engine. Now, this is not the same exact engine that's on my good Toro. There is 5 years difference between those two mowers, even though they're the same model. This one that I picked up, the one for parts, is a 1984, and my good one is a 1989. Oh. Gotta pull the dipstick off to get the fuel tank off. I wonder if there's any. I don't hear any fuel. Oh gosh, it stinks. I might take a peek in here. I'm not going to bother showing you guys in here because there's no way I'm going to be able to shine light in there and hold the camera there so you can see. But it looks kind of nasty and dark, but the tank looks relatively clean. Thank God for that. This looks like it might be a good usable tank. Too bad that decal's pretty roached. Oh, this mower that I picked up for parts did not have a mower blade on it. Someone had robbed the blade off of it for another mower. So, last summer, before I picked up the before I picked up the Toro self-propelled mower I just showed you that I had fixed up. A couple or a few months before that, at the same exact house that I picked up the good one, I picked up another Toro mower. So the good one over there that I showed you is actually the second one, vintage Toro I picked up. The first one, I don't know the year, mid to late 80s, but probably looks like probably late 80s. I picked up a 2-cycle Toro push mower. It was not self-propelled, but it had a Suzuki-built 2-cycle. Awesome little engine. Really cool little engine. Unfortunately, the deck was in really rough shape. It was cracked and it was broken in spots. So that one is a part out. I am keeping the engine. I'm going to make a bracket to set it upright, to mount it in upright position, and put a torque converter on it and a motorcycle style carburetor and exhaust, and put that into a mini bike. With a little bit of porting and advancing the timing and some other work, that thing is going to rip. Anyways, but good news is the mower blade is the same as the one that these two 4-cycle Toros use. Because that's a good thing, because the one that's on the mower that I fixed up, the nice one, has seen better days. This blade here that came off the 2-cycles in a bit better shape. So I'm using the other one for now. My dad and I sharpened and balanced it, but I'll probably retire it after this season. Anyway, back to this. Sorry, I went down a rabbit hole. Sometimes I go down rabbit holes. Alrighty. I'm just gonna kind of disassemble the majority of the outside of the motor before I actually try to dig inside of it. I know it's not completely necessary, but you know what? I kind of want to clean this thing up too. Whether I'm going to fix it up or just use it for parts, I kind of want to clean it up. So, yeah. Anywho, get a magnet tray started here. You know what? Actually, before I go any further, I'm going to drain the oil. I left a socket set over here. Somewhere. Where did I leave it? Maybe I didn't leave it over here. Sorry, I'm never fully prepared for these videos like I should be. I'll just use this one. I was going to use my shallow sockets, but I'll use a deep one, I guess. Smaller than that. 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. It is 1/2 inch. By the way, one of the bolts snapped off trying to get it out of the mower deck. I was trying so carefully, and I used PB Blaster and everything, but she snapped. It snapped right off. So, oh well. I will just weld a nut on it, I guess, and use the heat from welding it to spin it out, loosen it up so I can spin it out. when I turn this, it sounds like I can hear the blow-by. Like pressure, like the compression leaking past down into the crankcase maybe. Or maybe a valve's not fully seated. I don't know. I'm going to have to dig into it to find out. Need an oil drain pan. There goes the oil. Dirty oil. Okay. I'll just pull out the dipstick and the seal that goes with it. All right, that's enough. That's good enough. Can you see okay? All right. I'm gonna put that drain plug back in just so it stays in the pan. Snug it a little. I don't know exactly how far I'll be able to get into tearing this thing down tonight because I don't know if I'll be able to get that off. But we're going to try. I shot it with PB Blaster earlier. I'm going to hit it with some more. I hit the pulley with PB Blaster too, all of it. Let's see what happens if I just kind of tap on it with a hammer. Probably nothing. I'm sure nothing will happen. Yeah, exactly. This is going to be a 2-part video. I'm going to get that off video. Probably have to, unfortunately, I don't have a torch set up yet. So I'll take it up to my dad's shop and torch it off. If I hurt the seal, the crank seal, then I'm not too worried about it because I mean, not really losing anything. This engine is no good anyway as it sits. So what have I got to lose? I mean, the engine's already bad. Just out of curiosity, I did go ahead and look at new old stock OEM parts for this online, like connecting rod, piston head. That air filter's not too bad other than that part's torn off. And that part actually, there's a part that comes down over here, but there's basically just, this is extended longer, but there's a slit. And that part is actually important. So that's, if it wouldn't be like that, then that would be a good part, but if that wouldn't be ripped off. But it is. So, oh well. What was I saying though? Oh yeah, I looked at parts on the eBays, and they're what I need, what I think, what I might need, you know, more than likely is available on the eBays, and not expensive. I can get a piston rod, piston head, piston rings, all that good stuff. Relatively cheap. Come on, break loose. Trying to move this air cleaner box. Carb looks awful dirty inside. I guess that's to be expected with an engine in this condition. Oh, this doesn't have the... I thought that had a square hole in the end, so it can be used as an extension. I was used to the one at my dad's shop. He has one like that. Come on. Don't twist off. Oh boy. I'm a little concerned about that one. I think this one's going to twist off. That ain't no good. Trying to work it back and forth just a tiny bit. See if I can get her to loosen up. Sometimes that works. That and a little bit of... Nope, it didn't work. Twist it right off. I barely even turned it too. I guess jarring it in the beginning wasn't a good idea. That's usually my first go-to move to get them loosen up. Most of the time it works. Works most of the time, every time. But not this time. This recoil worked well. That was nice that it worked. Man, this thing looks like it's going to have a lot of seized bolts. That ain't no good. So if I fix this thing up, because that little bolt twisted off in the head, it's kind of a crucial bolt. It helps to hold your recoil cover. What I'm going to end up doing is probably, I should be able to buy this head used in good condition, cheap, on eBay. So I will probably just replace the head. I might even have one lying around here somewhere. It wouldn't surprise me too much if I did. alone for now. I'm going to go ahead and spray a few things. Get some stuff loosened up. I should have brought like a bottle of water or something out here. I'm like dying of thirst. All right, see if I can get this off without breaking it. There's a kill wire on this coil. It is removable. Let's see if I can coax it to pop off of there. Hit it with some PB Blaster. Let's see if I can pry it off gently without breaking anything. It's almost off. I'm about halfway, I guess. Come on. Come on, girl. Don't be stubborn. This engine's older than me, but I'm used to working on engines that are older than me. I like things that are older than me. Hell, for a while, I only dated women that were older than me. Some of them quite a bit. Maybe that's too personal. Well, that's off. I'm going to do something here. Here it is. I don't want to remove the plate that holds the governor linkage and all that yet, and what's left of this cable, but I do want this cable, what's left of it, gone. It would be nice so I don't get poked. So I'm going to snip it off. I'm going to snip it off even here. Oh yeah. Bye-bye. Junk. Wonder what size this flywheel nut is. Oh, I'm a good guess. 3/4. Would really like to use my impact, but I don't feel like going to get it. We're going to give it a try like this. I don't think it's going to work, but we're going to give it a go anyway. Oh, you know what? I can just put that blade adapter in my vise. I'm just going to do that. Hold on. Good. Don't you move. Oh, it moved. Darn. Tighten it up. There we go. Now, a little while ago, I sprayed PB Blaster on it, so I'm sure that helped. Look at that. Didn't even have to get out of my chair. Look how lazy I am. As long as I get her done, I guess. Now the next struggle, actually removing the flywheel. I think I'm going to work with it in the vise for that. But I'm going to clamp it real good in here first. So, I'm going to spray her again with the PB Blaster. This is one of those aluminum flywheels that's really, really thin. You know what? Before I forget, I need to adjust you guys' view. This is one of those aluminum flywheels that has some really thin areas, like right here and the fins. So I have to be very careful. I wish I had a puller for it, but these holes here for a puller aren't even tapped. There's no threads in there. I don't know if I've seen that before, that had a flywheel, or a flywheel has holes for bolts for a puller, but they're not tapped. I don't know if you're supposed to tap your own threads or what. But anyway, I'm going to remove this the way that I normally remove flywheels. You put the nut back on the end of the crank and you thread it back down till it's almost flush. You want it sticking up just a hair. You get you a good hammer and you get you a good hammer. Sorry, I just had a random message pop up on my phone screen. That's weird. Doesn't normally do that while recording. I was like, yeah, you get you a good hammer and a good pry bar. You find a good place to pry, and you carefully pry up on the flywheel and start whacking the end of the crank with the nut. You need to have the nut on there so you don't mushroom out the end of the crank and booger up the threads. So now I'm going to move to the other side to pry and keep hitting it. If I end up ruining the nut, it's not a big deal. You can run to the hardware store, find another nut. If I ruin the crank, it's a big deal. Then, it's done. It's not really wanting to budge, guys. I have a feeling if I go long enough, it will. Oh boy. Hang on a second. Am I... No, I'm just ruining the threads in the nut. That's not a big deal, really. Like, the nut's still usable. I can just chase the threads if I need to. It sure is soaking that PB blaster down in there fast, though. Oh, that's nice. I wasn't even trying that hard, but I just broke part of a cooling fin. It's not the end of the world, though, because where it broke is not visible. Yeah, it's going to slightly lower cooling capacity, but let's just hope that's the only other thing I have break on this engine. For just a moment, I got excited. I thought the flywheel popped loose. Hey, I think it's getting ready to. It is moving. Hey! What do you know? There she is, fellas. Oh, drop the flywheel key. Now I can show you what I meant about how thin this flywheel is. You see there how thin it is? And then how thin these fins are. And this part here ain't much thicker. This whole thing is thin. Now I'm going to inspect it for any cracks. There's none that I can see. I'm going to get that flywheel key before I forget about it. If I can find it. Should have stopped and picked it up right away, I guess. That's what I get. I'm not going to spend all night looking for it. If I don't find it, I mean, it's a flywheel key. I've got another one somewhere. Well, I think I just found what's left of it. Yeah, sure enough. Okay, guys, check this out. Let's try it this way. Shear it off. Trying to get it so you can see. Whatever. It's sheared off. The other half of it is right here. So if I wouldn't have found it, it wouldn't have been any big loss. Yeah. Sorry it's blurry. I tried. There's a plastic collar on here that is a looks to be a is that just a plastic collar? It doesn't look like it serves any other purpose. It might have a cam lobe on it for like if this were to be a points and condenser engine, but this is not a points and condenser engine. See if I can clean some of this junk off of here, so maybe it'll slide off. Yep, there we go. Slid right off. I know it doesn't have a lobe to it. It's just a collar, just a spacer. But I was going to say there would be points and condenser here, but it's not a points and condenser engine. Dirty thing. Where do I want to go from here? I could try my puller, my 3-jaw puller. Oop, not that drawer. This drawer. I can try my 3-jaw puller to get the blade adapter and pulley off of the crank, but I'm worried that I will actually, no, that won't work. Never mind. That is not going to work. The only other thing I might try is, and I don't think this will work either. Oh, that's too big to even fit in there. Yeah, that's too big to even fit in there. Sometimes with as greasy as these things get underneath, they're stuck, but they're not stuck that bad. On rare occasion, I have been able to apply a little leverage and pop them off. Even on these real old mower engines, they've been on there for an eternity. But I highly doubt that that's going to happen. I very highly doubt that'll happen. That's not going to happen. That's kind of what I thought. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. Well, guys, so we won't be able to dig into the crankcase tonight. You know what? I forgot to move you back down. We won't be able to dig into the crankcase tonight, because I'm going to have to take this to Dad's shop and heat it. But we can get the head off and see what the cylinder looks like. So let's set this thing up right. Now, I want to check something. Yeah, you hear that? You hear that knocking? Pretty sure that's what I was hearing. Well, let's see what the cylinder wall looks like. Come on. Hopefully it's not terrible. Hopefully it's decent, but I doubt it. I have my doubts. Valves are seating nicely. You know, you can actually still see some cross hatching. That's a good sign. But I can also see vertical lines. Do I see any sign of a head gasket leak? Yeah, actually I do. Right there. Right here, it's really dark, and over there, it's a little bit dark. You see it, fellas? As opposed to like here or here. Here, it's like black. That is a sign of a head gasket leak. Where the gasket surface is, if it's really dark and burnt looking there, like carbon buildup, it's a sign of a head gasket leak. I don't know, guys. I guess it's not really worth me going a lot further until I can get in here. I'm going to do some other stuff off camera. Like finish taking like the carb and stuff off. But I'm going to cut it off there because at this point there's... no, I'm still going to show you the cylinder. I didn't show you the cylinder yet. Blow it out and let's wipe it down. So you can really see the cylinder and not just oil or dirt on it. Excuse me. I don't know how well you'll be able to see in there. Hold on. I don't know exactly what you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see it. But those lines that you see, I can barely feel them. Like, most of them I can't even feel. I don't feel anything substantial at all. So, as far as I'm concerned, the cylinder wall is usable. It's actually not that bad at all. Just gotta clean up, just finish disassembling, clean up the block, and check out the rest of it, I guess. But this might still be a good candidate for a rebuild, even though I broke a cooling fan. These are like super thin cooling fins. Seems like there's a lot of thin stuff on here. Nothing structural, but still, it's kind of annoying. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna cut the video off there. This is gonna be a 2-part video. So stay tuned for the next part for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good night. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's the same night still. I didn't stop working on it. I did for a little bit, took a smoke break, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try something to get that blade adapter off. And it took a while, but I got it off without heating it. And then I got the pulley off without heating it. But before I got the pulley off, upon further inspection, the pulley was bad. It had I didn't really look at it too much before. I had one side chipped out. I'm like, well, whatever. So I started chiseling away at it. It's like, well, this is cast. This will break easy. So I started chiseling away at it. Didn't have to chisel all the way through. It eventually just kind of, from hammering on it, came loose, and I was able to slide it off. So we're going to go ahead and open this thing up. All right. I should have gone inside before I started this. I'm like dying of thirst. I'll be okay though. All right, let's get this opened up. There we go. See what's hiding inside. I think we already know what's waiting inside for us. Bad piston rod. Come on. Just carefully tap, tap, tap. You know what? These are going to pop out anyway from tapping on it. Let's just take these bolts out. 6 of them. There's only 6, right? Right, correct. I don't want to break this. This is cast aluminum, so I'm just tapping lightly. Clean this up a little bit. So hopefully that'll slide on off. There's rust on the shaft that's preventing it from sliding off. Now let's lube it up. See if we can pop it off. Come on. It's coming a little further each time. And come on. on. Let go. Jeez. That was ridiculous. I would have rathered everything not fall apart, but whatever. All that tapping kind of forced things to fall out of place. Mainly the oil pump. Yes, this little engine does have an oil pump. Let's just get the cam out of the way. Guys, I'm baffled. This engine knocked, but that rod feels fairly tight on that crank. So I'm a little confused as to what was knocking. I'm going to have to dive a little deeper into this. Now, before just assuming that the engine was bad, I did take a look under the deck, see if the blade was hitting anything, and I didn't see anything. But I don't know. Maybe it was some freak thing, but I am going to dive deeper into this. I'm going to clean it all up and inspect everything. If all goes well, I might be able to just slap this back together with a few new gaskets, clean and rebuild the carb, and have it up and running. Wouldn't that be amazing? I can tell you that it did indeed have a bad head gasket or a head gasket leak. I mean, that may have been able to be solved by just tightening some bolts. But you can see over here, you see it's shiny. And down here, it's not. It was leaking here, and it was starting to leak down here. And around this bottom side, this whole area was not sealing well on that side of the gasket. That rod seems to be good and tight on there, guys. Oh, got oil leaking out. Where's my, here it is. My waste oil catch pan. This bowl, metal bowl, came out of it was part of a rice cooker. It was left behind in one of my old apartments by a previous renter, and they said they didn't want it, so I just threw it in the shed. It's like, that'll come in handy for something. Since I do have it this far torn apart, I'm going to clean it up. Take it to Dad's shop and throw it in the parts cleaner. Or, actually, could just do it here in a bucket of kerosene and a solvent brush. But anyway, if I can hold this, I'm going to try to show you well, oops, sorry. This rod seems like I can't, by hand, I can't get it to knock at all. What you're hearing is just the crank moving because the plate on this side that holds the crank on this side is not there. That is strange. Before the other one falls out, I'm going to put this little push rod, or whatever you want to call it. I just always called them a push rod. back in its hole, because those should technically, if they come out, they should technically go back in the hole that they came out of. Anyways, guys, I gotta work. Well, it's like what, probably around 4 in the morning now, and I have to work today, even though it's Saturday. I gotta work today, and I gotta be up even early before work because I got some errands to run. Gotta go to the post office and ship out a part that I sold online, and got someone coming to look at a leaf blower I fixed up. So I better get out of here, get a shower, and get to bed. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to Old Iron Garage, and if you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button. Share the channel with your friends if you have any friends that are into this kind of stuff. And we're going to continue on this engine at a later time. Good night, everyone.